Today's gospel reading. A nursery school teacher was having a free time coloring pictures and whatever the children wanted to color. And as she walked around the room, she noticed each child making different things, some flowers and some butterflies and just different things. And she came to one girl and she couldn't quite make out. She was trying to look over her shoulder, make out what she was drawing, and she couldn't quite make it out. She said, "Honey, what are you making? What are you drawing?" She said, "I'm drawing a picture of God." She said, "Honey," she said, "nobody knows what God looks like. How can you draw a picture of God?" She said, "Well, if you give me one more minute, they will." How many of us know what God looks like? How many of you got something pictured in your mind? If I said, even describe Jesus, how would you describe him? Would he have fair complexion? Would it be dark complected? Would he have light brown hair, dark brown hair, blonde hair? Would he have a nicely trimmed beard? Nice, soft hands, pedicured feet, toes, right? Everything. Sounds kind of silly, but that's what a lot of us picture Jesus as, isn't it? And why do you think that is? Because that's how we see him pictured, right? Those are the pictures that are put in front of us. Now, I don't know what Jesus looks like. I wasn't alive when he was here, so I can't tell you what he looks like. But just from geographical perspective, where he was born, I think he probably was not fair-skinned. Although he could have been. I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm just saying probably not. Odds aren't with us on that. His hair probably wasn't all groomed, his beard nicely trimmed like Charlie. Probably wasn't like that. You know, they didn't have trimmers back then. They didn't have beard trimmers back then. You had to do that by hand. They didn't take hot showers every day. So it may not be that well-groomed picture that you see like this. That may not be the picture of Jesus. They walked around in sandals, in dirt. His feet were probably dirty each day. Now, he may have come into a home and washed them at night. What I'm saying is they weren't these well-kept feet that you see pictured, right? He was a carpenter by trade before he started his ministry. In all probability, he probably had some rough hands, right? Have you ever done woodwork? There wasn't no lotion. He'd come home and put lotion on his hands. And, those things didn't exist. So the picture that a lot of us have of Jesus probably is just a picture that we're really comfortable with, isn't it? If the truth be known, right? That picture it's acceptable to us. It makes it easy for us to accept Jesus, makes it easier for us to like Jesus because it's more like us, right? And we're real comfortable with that, right? So don't change that, preacher. I don't want that changed. I'm comfortable with it. But why is that? Why are we so comfortable with that? Does it give us a sense of control? We control what we picture, we think Jesus looks like, or what God looks like. Reality is that we don't know. You could be right. You could be exactly right, whatever you picture in your mind. I could be exactly right, whatever I picture in my mind. But we don't know, do we? We weren't there. But I think people like to exercise control in most parts of their faith. What Jesus looks like, what God looks like, what I imagine heaven looking like, what I imagine God will look like when I get there, how I experience God. Everybody has their own control mechanism, so to speak. Right? We all put God in our own little box. Right? We put God in a box that we kind of control, how we experience it. Now some people like to keep God in what I call the church box. In other words, he's in my church every Sunday, I show up, he's there. I give him 2 hours, maybe 2.5 if the preacher goes too long. And I experience him there, and we sing, and we praise him, and we pray, and we receive a message, and I listen. I stay to pay attention the whole time. Come to Sunday school, and they have a message, and I pay attention the whole time. And those 2 hours I give to God every single Sunday. I give them to God, and then I walk out the door, and I lock my God in the box, in the church box. Because I don't want God to wander off and get lost. I want him to make sure he's there next Sunday when I show up, right? Right, because my God, he's in my box. This is where I like him. This is where I like to keep him in control. But not only does he not walk out there with me, I don't think about him all week. I don't give him no mind. I don't try to walk in his ways. I don't try to be his ambassador. I don't try to reflect the love that he's put into my life. I don't share the good message of the gospel. I just forget about God, but next Sunday, I'm going to go meet him in church. He's going to be there. I locked him in. I know he won't get out. And I'll experience him again. Because I'm going to give him those 2 hours on Sunday. If you're Baptist, you might be a little bit more. They meet several times a week. But I'm going to give him those 2 hours. I'll even give him all Sunday. I won't work. My wife will have me a list, and I won't do it. Because I'm honoring God on Sunday, right? But God's not a 2-hour week God, is he? Does he only show up for you for 2 hours a week? No. And I'm not saying that's anybody in this church. I'm not passing judgment. You all have your own boxes, and I'm not trying to tell you what's in them or what's not. I'm just bringing this out for a visual. Some people are visual learners. So I brought this out today. Now, some people, they say, no, that's not me. I actually have a box, and I take my box out to the world with me. Very good. Congratulations. I think that's good. I have a box, too. I have a box that I take out to the world. And I started thinking about what would be in a box that was a God box. Of course, it would be a priority, right? We want God to be a priority. But what's in my God box? In other words, when I think of God, what do I think of? Right? What do you think of when you think of God? I'm going to pull some things out here, and some of these are my reflections, some of them are just general reflections, and some of them might be reflections that you share in your box. And if you don't, you might want to ask yourself why not. But they're not for everybody, and I'm not here to judge. Okay? So some people have experienced God in these ways, some people haven't, so please know I'm not passing judgment. I'm not trying to tell you what should be in your box, what shouldn't be in your box. I'm just going to share with you some things that are in my box. Of course, I got that direct line, prayer, right? I got prayer in my box because I know my God listens to my prayers, that he hears my prayers, that I should go to him regularly and pray every day. And I do pray every day, actually. I pray every day that we communicate all the time. That I talk to him and I listen for him to talk to me to see if he has something for me to say. But you all should have a communication line. Some people think preachers have that like bat phone. I'll call a preacher and he'll pray for me because he's got that direct line to God. We all have a direct line to God. We're all of his people. He loves all his children. If you pray or if I pray, it doesn't matter. He hears all our prayers, right? Somebody say amen. 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 I got my comforter here. Because my God is a comforter, And when everybody else leaves me, when I can't count on anybody else, one thing I know, God will comfort me. That God will be there for me. That he'll never leave me. No, this is not my bear. Don't judge. Don't judge. I know you said that. Did you sleep with that? No, I don't. But God is my comforter. He comforts me. He's there for me always, through thick and through thin, when things get bad. He's always there. I can always count on God. He comforts me in my time of need. Of course, God is my lifesaver, right? He sent Jesus Christ to live and die for me. He saved my life. He changed my life. I once was a sinner. He paid the price. So I wouldn't have to be separated from God. So God, I think of as a lifesaver. He thought enough of me to throw me a life-saving device in Jesus Christ. He's my rock. He's the foundation on which I build my life. He should always be at my base. He should be the one I count on, that I build on. He's sturdy. Not sand-like, but solid. He's a rock. He's my accountant. No, but he does provide for my financial needs. And I know this to be true. People say, you don't provide my financial needs. Maybe trust me with your financial needs? Would be my first question. Because I have, and I can tell you that in more cases than not, even when the math, we did that crazy math last week, even when the math doesn't add up, when you say, there's no way that should work. There's no way I'm going to be able to survive. There's no way I'm going to be able to afford that. There's no way that's going to happen. God provides a way. He's done it too many times. I trust him with my finances. I don't worry about how much I give because I know I can't outgive God. That is a part of my financial faith. And people have blessed me through the years numerous times, and I could sit here and take a whole sermon up of the blessings that I've received from other people. And because those people have blessed me, I choose to bless other people. Because they share God's love with me. When God tells me to send this person a check or send that person a check, I don't question why. Sometimes I argue about the amount. I used to, I don't anymore. Can we just do 50? No, I 50. 50 is good? No, I just send them a check. Because I know God's working through me to meet their need. So I don't worry about finances. I know God's in charge of finances. God, the Bible tells me God's going to give me what I need, right? Just give you what you need. First aid kit, you got it. My God is a healing God. He's a loving God. We know He made the blind to see and the lame to walk. He has the capability of touching people and healing them. Does that mean every person is going to be healed? Not necessarily. I think God answers all prayers, but some He answers immediately, some eventually, and some eternally. I think God answers all prayers, but maybe not the way we want them to be. Right? That doesn't mean we shouldn't pray. God tells us pray. Bring your request to me. If you're worried about somebody's health, if you're worried about a sickness, bring it to me. I want to hear from you. Just like a father wants to hear from his children. Right? Can't leave out the cross. Can you? It's God's amazing grace. His Son came and paid the price for my sins. It's part of my faith. It's part of my faith. It's part of what I believe. You can't leave that out. I just don't know how you could walk in the Christian faith without the cross. Poncho. Why in the world would you need a poncho in your faith box, in your God box? Because my God's got me covered even in the rainy storms. When it's a pouring down, when the world's beating me down, I'm getting soaking wet, when I think I'm about to drown, it's raining so hard, God's got me covered. Right? He's got me covered so I can stay dry. So I can learn to dance in the rain. I don't have to wait for the storm to end. My God's got it. And I trusted Him. He's going to get me through it. Maybe not the way I want it to work out. Maybe not the way that I pictured it all coming out. But I know He's got it. Because that's my faith. That's what I believe. Now some of these things may be in your faith box. I don't know. Maybe they're not. Maybe they should be. Everybody's different. But the question is, or the thing is, that we all have a box. Sadly, some people's box looks more like this. It's small. It doesn't have a lot in it. You know, they get that immediate, I get it. He paid the price for me. He paid the price for me. But that's all they got in their box. They've been baptized, but they never moved forward. They never try to experience God in new ways, and you can't experience God in new ways, basically, if He's in a box. Can you? You see, because when you put God in a box, as good as these things are, you limit Him, don't you? If you say, I'm only going to experience God when I need help with my health, or with my finances, it's the only time I'm going to call on God. Or if I get into a crisis and I got to dial 911 because I got myself in a kind of a pinch here because I'm doing the things I'm not supposed to be doing, I call on God and say, I know I messed up. Can you help me out? Right? How many of you made that call? Don't raise your hand. Don't tell them yourself. But the truth of the matter is, I think we all at some point get to that situation where we call on God. He's not meant to be put in a box. But that's what we do. You see, we only experience God in one way, whether it's at the cross or at the resurrection, as a lifesaver, as a ticket into eternity. We miss out. We miss the full power of God. We miss God's plan for us. God isn't meant to be kept in a building like this. He's meant to be taken out into the world. He's meant to walk with us each and every day. The question is, do we have that kind of faith? Or does our faith start and end at the cross? We tell our students, think outside the box. That's the new thing in math. They want you to think outside the box. Am I right? Yep. Think outside the box. But do we think outside the box? Do we limit our God by what we believe? How have you experienced God? What ways has He walked in your life? How has He changed it? What's your faith journey? You know, those are questions that we need to be asking ourselves. And if you say, well, I don't have one, then how do you get one? You get one by knocking down the walls of the box. By taking God out of the box. By experiencing Him, saying, I'm open to anything you got, God. Let's do this. Let's bring it on. What do you want me to do? Where would you have me to go? I'm not talking about, I'll do a little bit. I'll do whatever you want me to do. You know, you want me to start a new church, you want me to preach, I'll preach. You want me to park the cars, I'll park the cars. You want me to clean up afterwards, I'll do that too. Because I'm willing to do whatever you want me to do. You know, in today's scripture, Jesus encountered a centurion, right? Or his servants. You got a message from him. And the message from the centurion said what? There's no need for you to even come to my house. I'm not worthy. I hesitated to even go to the Jewish leaders, basically because I didn't feel like I was worthy of even meeting him. You know, he didn't know Jesus. He had heard stories about Jesus and the works that he had done. He wasn't as privileged as me and you, as having the Bible to read and to know all the works of Jesus when he was here on earth. Do you understand the extraordinary faith that he displayed when he said, just say the word, and it will be? You know, this is a man who's used to giving orders. He is the head of 100 Roman soldiers. He's the guy who's in charge. When he says jump, they say, how high? When he says run, they say, how far would you like me to run? They do what he says. He's used to barking out orders. But he comes to Jesus not barking out orders. He comes humbly to Jesus, doesn't he? He sends someone and says, I'm not worthy. Are we worthy? Nah. When I go to God in prayer, I'm not worthy. But I pray it anyway. Because I know all things are possible. All things are possible. That I need the kind of faith the centurion had. Just speak it, and it will be. I know you can do it. That's an incredible faith. That's an out-of-the-box faith. There's no walls there. There's no walls that say, you need to come and put your hands on my servant and pray over him. You need to come and put mud and spit in it and put on. There's no requirements. He just says, just speak the words, and I know that he will be healed. That's powerful, isn't it? That's a powerful kind of faith. But do we have that kind of faith, is my question. Or is our faith confined to a box? Do we have that out-of-the-box type faith where we say we know all things are possible through God? I don't know how it's going to happen, but I believe that if it's supposed to happen, that God will make it happen. That he'll work through people, he'll work through things. I've seen it happen so many times. Where the impossible becomes the possible because people believe. Now the question is, do you believe? Do you have that centurion type faith? Or do you have Sunday faith? Where I'll show up on Sunday. Because if you have this faith right here, I challenge you to knock down those walls. There's nothing wrong with coming on Sunday. I'm glad you're here. And your friends are glad to see you. And we love having everybody here. But God is more than Ledbetter Christian Church, the four walls that it is. We have to take him out to the world. We have to share him with others. We have to show up with kindness. We have to be open to experiencing him in all new ways each and every day. The question is, are you ready to knock down some walls? Or are you very comfortable keeping God in your box? Because I'm not judging you. We all have boxes. I have a box. And every day I pray that God will remind me to knock down those walls. You see, because it's not just good enough to know about Jesus, even though that's important. I mean, that's an important thing. You need to know about Jesus. They do a good job here with Sunday school in the mornings, teaching, and that's a good thing to know, to come and to learn about Jesus and his ways and what he did. But you need more than that. You need more than somebody who can just read off the facts. You need to know. The difference between knowing about somebody and knowing them, right? People know me, but not everybody. People know about me, but not everybody knows me. Right? My friends know me. You know about me. You say, who's that preacher? That's Kenny Hall. What else can you tell me? You don't have any hair. Okay. What else? What else can you tell me? His birthday is June 19th. Learned that this morning, so some of you might know that if you're in Sunday school. What else? You don't like snakes. Okay, yeah, true. What else? I mean, you can rattle off a few facts, but do you know me? Have we ever experienced anything together? Because that's how you really develop relationships, isn't it? By experiencing things together, right? Whether husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend, just friends. When we experience life together, there's a bond that forms, isn't there? And it's a trusting bond. But for you to be able to experience life with Jesus, you have to be able to trust him. And you got to knock down that wall. And you got to take him out of that box. And not only do you have to take him out of the box, you got to make every step of your journey his journey. Knowing that he's there with you. He never deserts you. And he never leaves you. And you'll experience life in ways that you never, ever dreamed of. So we knock down those walls. All God's people said,